Stream is live. Excellent connection. And they're having fun down there. Oh, man. Alright. Welcome back to the new season, everybody. This is gonna be fun. Hope that everyone is doing well tonight. July 12th. IMRC is back. And back in action. Ready to go here for the first race of the new season. Season number 11. Back at Talladega. Ready for 60 laps of action. Big field. Almost, I think there were over 30 cars. So this is going to be a really, really exciting one. I'm excited to get it back up and running. Hope everyone else is as well. I'm flying solo for the moment. But, hey, that's alright. You know why? Because this is going to be fun. So, like I said, we're at Talladega for the first race of the new season. 60 laps on tap for tonight. Pit window will likely be about 20 laps as per usual at a track like this. A lot of people changing numbers. A lot of familiar faces. Some newer faces. This is going to be really cool to see. And you guys are, you're all good. My folks downstairs. So, before we get this show on the road, we're trying to go through the starting lineup very quickly. Might not be easy with how big the field is. But we'll see what we can do. Tyler Malin, a familiar face on pole position here in the number 18. Runner-up last season in a thriller of a season finale. Looking for some redemption this season. You got Seth Cole in second. Only made a couple starts, or maybe even just one start last season. Looking to run the full season this time around. Don LaPrade had quite a bit of success last season, starting in third. Carter Friesen back in action in the 85, starting fourth. Zach Rogers, the season 9 champion. We saw him win that championship. And then Jovan Anderson, the most recent race winner in the IMRC, won the final race of season 10 at Homestead. Cole Baker and Michael Norman, 7th and 8th, excuse me. And then Nick Gunther and Natan Amwader, our good friend, starting in 10th. Then, going down the rest of the field, you've got Noah Degenhart, David Alvarez, Blake Warren, who will be joining us in the booth for quite a few races this season. Once again, Will Goss. Dylan Connolly is back in action. Then Daniel Rodriguez, Jonathan Feld, Shane Sides, Allie Rain, which good to see you in the chat. Jeff Dixon, Liam Tingley, and Chris Wetz, top 22, who all took lap times. Henry Nova, reigning champion of the series, Dejan Weeks, Robbie Gilvin, Daniel Day, Jerm Lewis, Pedro Lucas, Alexander Gonzalez, Chris Emery, Felipe Teixeira, Cody Lamas, Tristan Allen, and finally, Scott Roush. And that is the full field. That was a mouthful and a half. Good to see everyone in chat. Good to see everyone on the track. I am going to unmute Shane Sides here shortly so that we can listen to the admin calls as they come out. Or maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know. Maybe I'll only do that if I really feel like I need to. Normally I rely on my co-commentator to do that for me. But tonight we're flying solo. Don't know about any real expectations coming into tonight. You got a lot of familiar faces in the IMRC, but we didn't see them very much last season in the Cup Series. Those mainly being Nick Gunther, Carter Friesen, Michael Norman back in action after only making a couple of selected starts last season. Dylan Connolly is back. Daniel Day. So we'll see what they'll be able to do. There's Tristan Allen, the number 80. A lot of different numbers, a lot of different schemes. But Tristan Allen, the runner-up in the Light Series last season. What we got here? I had a couple people say that if they wreck out, they'll be happy to join the booth. Jove and Anderson and Natan being a couple of them. So if that happens, I'll be sure to move them up here. Because I think just listening to me and only me gets a little boring after a while. Hey, we're just here to have a good time. As per always, the reception for me streaming these races was pretty good from last season. So I thought, hey, it was a lot of fun. I will gladly go ahead and do it again this season. So as long as life continues to be good to me, I will be streaming these races every Monday night for the full season. Championship format this season, I will confirm this at a later point, but it looks like, I don't know if it's winning you're in. And I don't know if it's going to be the same as last year. It looked like it wasn't, just based on the schedule that I saw. But I'll be sure to clarify that as we go forward. Also going to be a little bit rusty as far as calling out some of these cars. Looking a lot different. A lot of guys in different numbers. Well, a few guys in different numbers. I shouldn't say a lot of them. But we should be going to race here very shortly. Again, it is a 60-lap event on tap. Should be some extra laps added on there for possible green-white checkers if need be. Here's the 81 Scott Rash. Pretty much the same scheme as the 11. You saw the reigning champ skid right through there. The 10 of Dejan Weeks, I know, won the championship in somewhat controversial fashion. But won the championship no less. And he is going to be the benchmark for everyone to beat this season. You got Zach Rogers, though, the champion before him. Did not run last season. Back again this season in the number 6. Of course, Jovan Anderson looking to maybe make a charge. Seth Cole is going to be running full-time this season. There's Chris Emery in the 52. Always fast whenever he runs. But of course, we are starting off at Talladega. And Talladega is anyone's race to win. So, possible wild card maybe? Hopefully so. That would make for a pretty good story. So, best of luck to all the drivers tonight. All roughly 33 of them. One of the biggest fields that I think I've ever seen for IMRC. This is going to be really, really fun to watch. I mean, you also have fun to watch them kind of just messing around. Looks like they reset happy hour. Probably still going over some stuff in the drivers' meeting. Possible new rules. There are set rules as far as how many starts you can have depending on your experience and ability level. Because, of course, there is also the Light Series. Memes are made here. And I think that this entrance of Turn 1 says it all right here. Oh, man, that's too fun. There's Michael Norman in the number 12, the Ryan Blaney colors. Knows how to get it done on the super speedways. Really, really ran well at Daytona last season, so might look for some good stuff there. There's Pedro Lucas, the red Coca-Cola colors. Don LaPrade back in action in the 25. Beautiful, beautiful Lucas Oil colors there. Drove the 74 last season to 1 win and best of the rest as far as those who did not make it to the Final 4. But definitely looking for some good stuff. Also, the champion of the Super Speedway Series that IMRC put on over the last couple months just took the championship of that just a few short days ago. But now looking to bring home the main deal. There's Cody Lamas, who came up also just short of making the playoffs, from what I remember. But the reigning Light Series champion, though, in the 48. Familiar Lowe's colors. You also saw, well, hopefully, maybe some of y'all saw him win the Drive to End Alzheimer's 175, which was an event that I put on with the help of Seth Cole, Matthew Rodriguez, and company. I just realized that I do not have the graphic settings where I need them, so let me fix that. There we go. Now the car should look a little nicer. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Tristan Allen. Again, in the 80, the Twix colors, there is William Goss. Ran part-time last season. Joined us in the booth for one race at Michigan. And also a pretty quick driver. Driving the number 27 this season in the NordVPN car. This video is not sponsored by NordVPN. I promise. Daniel Alvarez. Excuse me, David Alvarez. Oh my god. I just got Daniel confused from an old Off-Light series. Good grief. There's a lot of Daniels also in this series, or in this race. So don't mind me. It's going to be a little all over the place. There's Allison Rain. The Sweet Frog, number 23. Who has a lot of support there in the chat, which is cool to see. Did not run last season. Back in action here tonight. So we'll see what she's able to do. There's a good story there. Some of you may formerly know them as Johnny Gardner. Formerly. Not anymore. So the Sweet Frog 23 Toyota. Looking to make something happen here tonight. There's Cole Baker in the number 11. Ran a few races of his own, but also acted as a super sub a couple times, primarily for Chris Wetz last season. Sideswipes Liam Tingley there, who made a few starts last season. Definitely showed improvement. And now looking to see what they can do here. Once again, Carter Friesen back in action. Hopefully he gets some pudding after tonight. Good old inside joke. Just reading the chat here. Good to see you there, Mr. Gunther. Best of luck to you, my friend. Looks like you'll be trying to run full season by the looks of it. So, hope all the best for you. Daniel Rodriguez in the 20. First time I've seen them on track. Number 20. The 3M machine. There are definitely a lot of really, really neat paint schemes out here once again this season. A lot of new stuff. Noah Degenhardt made a start or two last season. Pretty quiet. Alexander Gonzalez, driver who made the chase last season. Back in the 63 once again. Dylan Connolly ran season 9, but did not run season 10, so back in action in the 95. There's Robbie Gilvin in the 69, the Dairy Queen colors. Made the chase barely by the skin of his teeth, winning at Daytona in very dramatic fashion. And Henry Nova in the 66. Familiar paint scheme, different number. Was the 37 last year, now the 66. Scott Roush. Relative newcomer. I've seen them make some starts in the past, but have not gotten to see them race very often, so looking forward to seeing how Scott does. There's Teixeira. Familiar name. Had one of the funnier moments from last season. Literally did a full 180 to come down pit road. Tyler Malin. Winner of this very race last season. Most wins of all last season. Came up just short of the championship after getting the bumper. So definitely looking for some redemption here tonight. Alexander Gonzalez decided to do a little breakdancing. And there goes Jovan Anderson. So there you have the most recent Talladega winner in Malin and the most recent IMRC Cup winner, point winner, in Jovan Anderson. They did have a couple of preliminary dual races the Ram Ranch duels, as it were. Yeah, LOL, funny. Those were both swept by the guy in that white number 6, Zach Rogers. Rogers, very accomplished NR racer. Knows how to get it done. Of course, won the championship in season number 9 after a phenomenal battle with Chris Wetz. Looking to do it again. So at this point now, we're just waiting to get things kicked forward. To get this party started for the new season. There's Nick Gunther in the 55. Was not able to run last season due to outside responsibilities, which that always takes precedent. But now we'll be interested to see how the 55 will do this season. Another driver who knows how to wheel a sim race car. No doubt about it. The 85 and the 87 having a little fun. Hey, it is memes are made here, so it's all in good fun. There's Jeff Dixon in the number 14, the Chase Briscoe car. Dixon drove the number 30 last season. Again, a driver who is pretty accomplished over in some other leagues. Looked to try to make a name in the IMRC. Had some bad luck, but still some good runs, showed speed. We'll see what that 14 is going to be able to do tonight and for the rest of the season, should he continue to run. There's the reigning champ. The familiar Eric Amarola scheme that he has always been known to drive. Wrecking hour practice, yep. That's usually how happy hour is, or even the tail end of regular practice. I'm actually surprised. It looks like they're actually going to let this session run out. They would normally do the drivers' meeting and then kick it on forward. But it looks like they're letting them run it out. Maybe get some of these. Maybe get some of this out of their system. There's Jonathan Feld in the 83. Made only a single start at this very race last season. Drove the 59 last time out. Now in the 83 Toyota. Getting a few boinks from the 63. I mean, yeah, they're all reckoning up right now. They're all just letting loose, having a good old time. But once that green flag flies, it's all serious. Everything's going to come down to who's going to be able to push the best, which line is going to be able to get the best runs. And I'm actually showing 57 laps. According to the lap timer. So I wonder if that's how it's going to be or not, or if the race is going to be any shorter. Because I saw 60 laps on the schedule, so not sure there, but hey, whatever the case may be, we'll see what these drivers have in store. It is going to be a really, really good night of racing here. A couple Toyotas on the front row with Tyler Malin and Seth Cole. And then you got it. Command has been given. A number of hungry drivers behind them. Drivers' cars. Yep, and ours being a little finicky. They will have one restart if they need it, and that would be if an incident occurs, I believe, in the first 2 laps. If that should occur, then they will re-rack and do it one more time. Whatever happens after that point, is what happens. They will not restart from that point. So Interstate Batteries, Toyota, the Bobby Labonte colors, Tyler Malin, winner of this race last season. And now, looking to do it again. Pace car pulls in. Ready to go racing. Season number 11 of the IMRC Cup Series. Creeping through the triover. Flagman with the green, ready to wave it. The new season is underway for the IMRC. Got quite a few drivers playing the conservative strategy. You saw a few of them drop to the rear, looking to just play it safe in the early going. Malin holds on to the lead, though, with a push from Dunn LaPrade. The inside line looking like the dominant place to be at the moment. With Malin, LaPrade, Rogers, Baker, and then Gunther there on the inside as well. Beautiful flyby shots there. Always love those. Jovan Anderson looking to lead the outside, though, with a push from Natan Amoedo. You know that they're going to be the drivers to probably try to make something happen the most on the outside. But at this particular version of Talladega, the outside really needs a lot of muscle, a lot of cars, a lot of pushing to really make it work. They've got some good cars up there, though. They look all pretty lined up nicely. So we'll see what they're able to do. Noah Degenhart there, running in 6th in the number 87. That is a good run so far, as we've only started the 3rd lap. But already the outside starting to come up a little bit here. They've gotten up to Michael Norman in the 12. Knowing that Amoedo is not afraid to push. Jovan Anderson always been strong on super speedways. And Cole Baker getting a little out of shape. Wasn't sure if he was going to drop back. But does get back in line, but that might check them up a little bit. It's going to allow that outside to come forward a little bit more. William Goss in the 27, also up there. And there's the 24, Shane Sides. The league owner himself. A number of other strong cars on the outside. They've already gotten up to the 87, so that's for 6th. And just as I said, at the inside, looking like the preferred place to be. That outside is moving, and it is moving fast. They are now up to 5th place Gunther. Looking for some more ground. Might get up to the 11 this time. Zach Rogers sees that run coming. He jumps to the outside as well. Rogers and Anderson, they're good friends off the track. They work well together, so expect some good pushing from those two. LaPrade, though, staying determined to push the 18, but they jump up, throwing the block. And they take advantage of that. Now Rogers to the inside, and the 18 looking to cut him off. Great racing already out of these guys, only on lap 5. Carter Friesen bailing out of line there, looking to drop back. Back to the outside goes Rogers. He's got LaPrade behind him. Now neck and neck are the two lanes. The outside actually starting to pull away a little bit. The inside's going to have the advantage here, but if the 6 is able to get a good push, he might clear the 18 coming off the corner, because that's where the momentum is at. And he is indeed clear. Might even clear the 25 as well. We'll see if they dive down to the inside. Not yet, but the outside, though, looking like the place to be all of a sudden. A little out of shape there. A little iffy is 18. Going up, maybe looking for the side draft, but Don LaPrade looking for the lead for himself. Wasn't sure if they were going to put Malin in the sucker hole. They did not. But Malin looking to run a little bit higher. Maybe trying to get that momentum right now. LaPrade with the lead, but a little bit of a gap between him and the 18. So that's going to hurt him. Looks like the 6 is probably going to take the lead back here at the stripe, and indeed will. Someone blowing up in the back. It appears to be Seth Cole. Motor going on the number 78. Oh. Was looking to make something good happen. Running the full season, and just like that, that is an early departure for the night for the 78. But right now the 18 has been put into the sucker hole. They are 3 wide. With the 18 in the middle, Nick Gunther giving a little bit of room here, maybe looking to let him in line. Malin will take that gap. 3 wide, a little bit further back in the field. Looks like Pedro Lucas put in the middle. No, that's Robbie Gilman, excuse me. Now they get out of that. There's Chris Wett in the 71. Also nearly put into a 3 wide situation, but they settle that down. We are back down to 2 wide. But a tough, tough break for Seth Cole. Early in the going. But we stay green. It is manual cautions. The admin is the one that calls the yellows. And the leader basically acts as the pace car. In an IMRC, as long as the rules stayed the same from last season, it must be a contact wreck for it to be a caution. Sometimes a blown engine will bring out a caution if it is in-game yellows. But in this case it did not. Because it is, well, cautions are turned off. The admins make the call. So lap 9 here. Pretty sure we're going to the end. If I saw 60 laps on the sheet, so I'm guessing that we're going the whole way. If not, then I honestly don't know what lap we're going to. Tyler Malin has dropped out of line. I hear spinning in the back, and a few cars are around. Caution will probably fly for that. And indeed it will. Dylan Connolly, one of them. Carter Friesen as well. Looks like Chris Retson, Robbie Gilvin as well. Some side damage for the 85. So we'll see what caused this one. We see Tyler Malin pull out a line, looking to drop back. But looked like it happened maybe just a little bit further up the racetrack. Oh, 95 got a punt from whoever it was behind him, and that's what sent everyone sideways. Looks like Robbie Gilvin, maybe. Just a bad bump. Oh! Never mind. I completely missed that. Looks like a warp from the 16 of Felipe Teixeira. Kind of warped backwards all of a sudden into the 95, and nowhere for anyone else to go there. Oh man, I have been on the receiving end of that once or twice. That is not fun, especially at a super speedway. We'll take one more look at it here from the helicopter view. We'll get a good view of everyone getting collected. So the 16, just a sudden warp backwards. Gilvin trying to avoid it, got into the 71, and then spun out, collected the 85 as well. Looks like that's really all the cars that were involved. So caution is now out. Field being paced by Zach Rogers. who made his way to the front and has done a pretty good job holding on to it thus far. I imagine just about everyone's going to be pitting here. We're about halfway through the fuel run. Just pulling up TeamSpeak here. So we'll see who will get the advantage coming off of pit road here. Probably a bunch of guys who might be looking for some track position, other guys who might already be at the back looking to hang out there so that they can avoid trouble, just like what occurred just now. Dunlap going a little far forward in his stall. Might hurt him as far as position goes. Kurt Friesen going way past. And yep, Zach Rogers will lead them off. It looks like Natana Morito will now be second. Then Shane Sides, Dejon Weeks, and Jovan Anderson. So quite the shake-up there. Dunlap looks like will be sixth. Ahead of Gunther in seventh. Goss in eighth. Daniel Day ninth. And then Jerm Lewis will be 10th, most likely. Actually, correction, looks like Allie Rain has stayed out. The 23. Not sure if maybe thinking that we're going to get another lap caution and going to pit the next time, or looking to hold the lead for a little while up here. Let's see what the strategy call is there. Few drivers dropping back. Probably Teixeira going to end up with the EOL penalty for the warp incident. I'm actually going to try and find out how many laps this race actually is. Really quickly. Because again, I saw 60 and now I'm seeing 57, so. And I know that this series normally does green-white checkers if need be, so. Just kind of wondering what's up. LA Rain will be bringing it down pit road here. Giving the lead up back to Zach Rogers. I'm actually going to ask here really quick. Tyler Malin coming down pit road there as well. Sorry for the weird stuff that you might see there in the chat. Okay, there we go. So it's 50. Dylan. So lap 12 here, a couple guys topped off with fuel there. See the official front three rows are going to be Zach Rogers and Natana Morito, Shane Sides and Dejon Weeks, and Jovan Anderson and Dunlap. Seth Cole, the only driver out of the race right now with that engine failure. 33 cars started. We still got 32 cars running and on the lead lap. They hath been messaged. And, ooh, that'd be nice. Looks like we are going to have someone join us here in the booth.
User joined your channel.
The poor guy who just blew up. There's Seth Cole. Welcome to the booth, my man. Good to have you back. even though it's not in the best circumstances. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I was gonna try and see if I could run up front in this race, but the FRN curse says, nope, you're a commentator tonight.
It is calling to you.
It was. I didn't listen to the voices, but they had to shout at me.
They shouted, and well, it's good to have you here nonetheless. So we're gonna have fun here.
Still big field, and a lot of those guys that were caught up in that wreck, I don't think a lot of them got a whole lot of damage. So still plenty of them taking the green flag here.
Yep, still got 32 cars on the lead lap, and right in this thing right now, Zach Rogers has taken the lead and has been able to hold it pretty well. We'll see how well he'll be able to hold it on this restart. The inside line starting to form up considerably well versus the outside. Dejan and that is Dunlaprat trying to hold their own up there, but the inside is forming up the best at the moment.
Yeah, there's a number of guys that took part in the Ram Ranch duels this past Saturday where they were kind of testing out the setup that was going to be used here tonight in 2 heat races at Talladega. Zach Rogers actually won them both, and I actually spent a good portion of both of those duels drafting with him, and so a lot of these guys that took part in that have an idea of just how to be able to control the draft, be able to control the runs, especially when you're out in front. So, Zach Rogers, obviously at this point in time, no challenge at the moment. That outside line hasn't formed up, but you can be certain he's keeping his eye on when that second lane's going to form.
Yeah, true that. We saw Jovan Anderson making it work really well when he had the 36 behind him. They got up there. Rogers took advantage of that run coming and jumped up and was able to take the lead that way and has been able to hold it pretty much ever since. Right now, like we said, the inside is what's formed up, but a little bit of a line starting to form now on the outside, led by Weeks and LaPrade. You got Jerm Lewis and Chris Emery, 2 guys who run together very frequently up there now, but also those 2 guys who were running the best on the outside earlier, Amuito and Anderson. Now just roles reversed, the 93 being the pusher. And looks like Cole Baker also looking to join him up there. So outside might be starting to get some energy.
It'll be interesting to see here if Shane Sides, running in the second position, will decide to jump up to that line to try and make a move on Zach Rogers, or will he stay on the bottom? Because I'm almost certain if Natan gets alongside of Shane, Zach's going to jump up to that middle lane, and we're actually going to go 3 wide. Cole Baker had a nice run. Dejan Weeks going to go up there with him. All of a sudden, those 2 fast cars you were talking about, Natan Omiedo and Jovan Anderson, they're stuck in the middle, and they're going to go the wrong way.
Stuck in the sucker hole right now is the bump for the 11, and there they go.
That's the second wreck we've had that's been warp-related.
Oh, warp again. Oh, I missed that part. Jonathan Feld hit the wall on the inside really hard. Number of guys spinning out in this one.
Allie Rain there through the smoke, I could see. Philippe Teixeira, Cody Lamas, Chris Wetz. Some of those guys that running that the neon yellow scheme, so you can barely see them through that big plume of smoke there just at pit road entrance. Jonathan Feld looks like he might have a left front tire down as he limps that thing onto pit road through the infield grass.
He hit the wall pretty hard on the inside. But man, as they were going 3 wide, Cole Baker, it's like from what you said, someone warped into him. Obviously,
I think it was actually Baker in the 11 that warped. He had Dejan on his bumper. And it's just the warp led to bump grab, and unfortunately it's in one of the tougher parts of the racetrack to avoid a wreck there off of turn 4, because the car naturally wants to turn to the right, and you have to really get on the brakes to get it to turn left. That's why I think we see a lot of these drivers with flat tires coming to pit road, because they had to get hard on the brakes in order to get down to the inside.
Yeah, that's true. We're gonna go a little slow motion here, and we'll go helicopter cam. Actually, that's a little too slow. There we go.
That's the treachery of superspeedway racing as well, because everybody is side by side with very little room in between. Everybody's nose to tail with very little room in between, and so when you end up having a warp like that take place, there's just no opportunity for that car that's behind to be able to lift out of the throttle, because they've got somebody in their gearbox. So Dejan Weeks just had to stay committed to the back of the 11, hope that the warp settled out before the 2 would make contact.
Yeah, they barely even warped on my screen, but yeah, just a little bit of weird bumper grab that bounced the 11 up, and that was that. I gotta send a shout out to a great driving job by Jerm Lewis, and it looked like Henry Nova as well. Barely missing that one. A number of other guys avoiding it really, really well. This will be a
But
good
again,
angle
going
of it
back
here.
and looking at that incident as opposed to the incident that brought out the first caution, I'm not seeing a whole lot of major contact between any drivers. So I think everybody should still be up to speed and still be good to go. So even though we had a lot of drivers spinning around there towards the entrance of pit road, I think they all dodged a pretty good bullet here.
The only driver I'd be really concerned about as far as any kind of serious damage would probably be the 83. Because he hit the inside wall pretty hard. As we got some pit stops here taking place. And coming off of pit road, actually, rather. Got Rogers still in the lead with Shane Side second. And just like that, car number 3, someone who we have not mentioned very much so far, Daniel Day. Now up into 3rd. Coming off the line there. Then Jovan Anderson and Natan Amrieto back nose to tail once again in 4th and 5th. And then LaPrade holding ground in 6th, although warping a little bit there, looking to get out of the way. I'll be interested to see what Tyler Malin's going to be able to do, though, because we know how fast they are. They did really well last year, won this race, obviously, and came oh so close to the championship. So probably hungry to get back up there, but also played the conservative strategy, which, to my surprise, they tried to drop back before that first caution, so... I guess I'll ask you, where's that balance lie between wanting track position versus wanting to just play it safe so that you avoid incidents like what we just saw?
Well, if you're out in front, you know, that's about the safest place to be. Everything behind you is where the mayhem is, and a big reason for that is there's almost a sense of urgency on that outside line. I'm not saying that there isn't a second group, because there definitely is, but you've got to have the numbers up there to be able to make the progress. You really don't make any advantage into the corner. It's only on the straightaways coming off of 2 and 4. So that has the 2nd, 3rd, 4th car in line, that outside line, almost feeling that they have to push. They have to get right up on the back bumper of that car in front to make that outside line go. When that happens, that can lead to the bumper grab that we've seen here already in this race. So I think in the case of Tyler Malin, I myself was surprised to see him start dropping to the back after he started up in front on the pole position. He's got some kind of strategy in mind here. I don't know if it might be fuel strategy or not, because bear in mind, too, all these drivers are planning on coming into this race with a 60-lap event, but we're only running 50 laps instead, so the race got shortened by 10 laps. That changes up a whole bunch of strategies.
Absolutely. I mean, it's 60 laps with the fuel window the way that it is. That would have been really, really, really marginal if it went green the whole way, but now that's 50, you're definitely going to be good as far as... that would be a 2-stop? Yeah, a 2-stopper. I also have to apologize to Robbie Gilvin. I said that was the Dairy Queen car. It's actually STP. I don't know why I thought that was a Dairy Queen logo on the front. So my apologies for that. Looks like we are going to be going green this time.
Close resemblance to the Dairy Queen car that Noah Hart drove back a couple of seasons ago.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I guess that's what was in my head, because I had seen that in my roster a few times. Still looks really awesome, though. A lot of awesome schemes out there on track. Always cool to see the creativity that these guys always bring as far as schemes go. Of course, you got some car pack cars like the 22, the 10, the 14, 12. But a lot of other cool stuff. Looks like probably going green this time with Rogers and Sides on the front row.
Right now, you basically kind of have the drivers that want to be able to work together kitty corner to each other. Jovan Anderson, I'm certain, would love to be lined up behind Zach Rogers. Daniel Day would love to be lined up behind Shane Sides, but now they got to try and figure out how they're going to get themselves hooked up, as they're all starting opposite of each other in the first 2 rows.
Well, what's going to be interesting here is we're going to take lap 19. I've seen so far on the start and the restart that we had, the inside line charged on the initial run, but then the outside formed up after a couple laps, so we'll see if it's going to be more of the same, or if that outside lane is going to be able to hold its own. So far, doing a good job of that, but Rogers with the shorter way around, going to clear them both, going to have his choice as far as where he wants to go. Anderson squeezing in line, but hey, is now in front of the guy who pushed him on that outside, Natan Amrieto, so we'll see what they're going to be able to do. Right now, not really many places to go. Zach Baker.
Zach It's either Roush or Baker. Both of them running the Arizona Iced Tea cars, so I'm not sure which one.
That was the 81. I'm not sure if he got out of shape or what that move was. Something might be wrong on that 81.
He looked like he was awfully slow there. That looked like more than just dropping back, but I'm not really certain.
Maybe a blown gear or something of the sort. Getting out of line there is David Alvarez in the 68. But, yep, the inside line starting to charge. We'll see how long it'll take for the outside lane to start getting its muscle back. I mean, it's still got plenty of cars up there. You got the 24 and the 25, nose to tail, and Malin behind them. So I think that outside line is going to start to move very shortly here. As we see, it looks like the 20 of Daniel Rodriguez dropping out of line.
And to answer the question, you hit the nail right on the head. Fourth gear blown for the 81 car. He can only top at 174 right now. Back in practice, cars and single car runs were able to hit around 179 to 180. So tough break there for Scott Roush, who's just got to kind of ride this thing out. Certainly got to hope as well that running in third gear all the way around this racetrack that he might not over rev that engine and blow it up.
I mean, at that point, yeah, you're just going to be looking for points. Really not much else to do about that. A very far high line forming in the further back of the field, but Daniel Day has now jumped to the outside. Saw the muscle that it had, so now maybe looking to try to see what he can do up there. I mean, this is the first time that we've seen that 3 car up here at the front. Got a number of good pushers behind him. Of course, Daniel Day and Shane Sides were teammates. I don't know if they are teammates this season, but I know they were teammates a couple seasons ago. So those guys are pretty tight with each other, but you also got a couple guys that know each other well enough. Rogers and Anderson, and then Amoito behind them. So that inside line led by 3 very, very strong cars that know how to push each other. And it's showing right now, but Day just kind of holding his own right now, as we are just a couple laps short of the halfway point.
Pretty sure Daniel Day and Shane Sides are teammates out of Scorpios Motorsports.
Okay.
Also got Dunn LaPrade back there in the 25. Bear in mind that he, between the off season of season 10 and season 11 here, or 2021B, whichever you want to call it, Dunn LaPrade won the off-season series, the Super Speedway series. So obviously a guy that's very consistent when it comes to tracks of this kind. So watch for him to maybe be up here in the closing stages of this race. Tyler Malin was a 3, I believe, or maybe it was a 4-time winner in the final couple of races of that series as well. And you mentioned him being the defending winner of this race. Also want to mention as well, only 33 drivers took the green flag to start this race. There were supposed to be 34, but there are now 34 in the race. Blake Warren has now gotten onto the track there in that 8 machine, albeit 14 laps down. He will be able to pick up at least one position here tonight in this event. Not really certain who is going to pass. I'll give you 3 guesses, but he is out there, and I don't know if maybe because of the fact that he was having some connection problems. I think he ended up having his internet drop or something just prior to the green flag coming out. Hopefully, if a caution comes out, they would probably, I would think, have him be the lucky dog and give him all his laps back. So as long as he continues to ride it out here and maybe catch a caution, he might still be able to be in contention before this race is over.
Yeah, we'll see if how the rules going to play out as far as how many laps that he would get back. But check this out. I just said we had a bunch of guys who knew how to push each other at the front. Well, Zach Rogers went to the outside, and now Anderson is below him, and they're side by side. So that is quite the battle for the lead. And they are drawn pretty even at the moment. Daniel Day doing a great job of pushing the 6. That outside holding its own and then some. But man, right now they seem really even. And but again, we're only just coming to halfway, so I don't know. It's just a matter of when you want to make a move more bold than just the double wide. We saw Cole Baker go for the 3-wide move earlier, and it worked out really well for him, at least until some bumper grab occurred. But I don't know. Again, it's like you said, that sense of urgency on that outside lane to try to push as much as you can. Would that lead these drivers to try to be like, okay, I need to get out of the middle of this field here and try to get more forward, like what Dejan Weeks is trying to do right now?
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, that's a 3-wide move there by Dejan Weeks, which I think he's trying to go up the middle with Tyler Malin. They're going to shuffle Michael Norman out of line. But, I mean, as mentioned, in the first 2 cautions that came out, pretty much everybody that was involved has been able to still remain competitive. Even Jonathan Feld, who, you had that concerns about that hard hit nose first in the inside wall. He's still up here latched on to the tail end of this lead pack just ahead of a couple of stragglers there. So he still appears to be up to speed as long as that car is in the draft. And we've dodged 2 bullets. I don't dare tempt the fates for a 3rd bullet dodge. I think if we end up seeing another wreck, we're going to see a lot of drivers possibly have some early retirements here tonight. And I did notice that we do have a couple of drivers way back there. Chris Emery in the 52, that Twisted T machine, he has lost the draft. Felipe Teixeira in the 16 has also lost the draft. And Allie Rain was just on pit road a couple of laps ago, so obviously she has lost this lead group as well. And I will tell you something, Andrew, with this setup, if you get left out and you do not have the draft of that lead pack, you cannot reel them back in. It is practically impossible. There's very little suck-up available to just a single running car to be able to get back up into this pack. So you need a caution to be able to get back into contention if you lose that lead draft, which right now the 52 and the 16 are praying for and might get it there with a bold move by Henry Nova.
Henry Nova and Natan Amriedo getting at it there, trying to decide which lane to go in. Rogers cleared Anderson, so has now gotten back in front of him, but now has a bit of a gap. So that's going to leave the question mark once Anderson gets that run, which is inevitable, with someone pushing him in the gap that Rogers has. Although it's like you said, the suck-up definitely isn't as much as it has been in previous races, but looks like he's going to stick with the 6 for the time being. The 36, though, we know that he's not going to be holding back no matter what he does. He's moving around a little bit. I'm a little worried about how much that 3 just moved there, but they keep it straight and keep it going. There's Rain coming out of the pits. And now a little bit of a gap between the 36 and the 3, so I think that outside might start to fizzle out just a little bit. Now they just got to regroup and try to reel him back in. But now Henry Nova, and a shout out to the 4th place runner all of a sudden, Pedro Lucas out of nowhere in the 21. Oh, goodness.
Daniel Day getting loose there again. And I think what's happening here for the 3 car is he's actually going to go up the middle and leave Natan Amriedo out to dry. I think the big reason why we saw him lose not only just there, but over the previous lap here in turn 1, he caught up to the 36 at just the wrong moment where it was in the center of the corner, and then had the difficulty of making sure that the bumpers lined up just in case they made contact. And that's, I think, what got him squirrely. Now you see Shane Sides, 2nd car in that line, having the issue as well. Pedro Lucas, though, how about this Chevy Bowtie Alliance? They jump up there with Daniel Day and Shane Sides. Henry Nova's up there as well.
And they are not willing to hold back. We are coming up to 20 laps to go here soon. And word from Allie in the chat. I'm fine. I got weather in the area, so probably some kind of an internet issue. Really sorry about that. I will just warn, don't text and drive. In other words, don't type in chat and drive. But thank you for the update. Nova now looking to show some muscle on the outside, and has a lot of it. Coming up now next to Anderson.
And it's a catch-22, Andrew. I mean, obviously, these drivers don't want to put themselves in this kind of a position where they could end up wrecking, but you have to be aggressive on that outside line if you're going to make forward progress, because it takes so long to be able to generate a run. I mean, you can see even right here, by all rights and purposes, this outside line should have already pushed the 66 alongside, if not in front of Zach Rogers going into turn 3, but he just barely got to Rogers' right rear quarter panel and now is back alongside of Jovan Anderson. So it is just so difficult to generate the run on that top side. You've got to be aggressive. You've got to shove that car in front of you. You can't be afraid to do that, or else that outside line is going to go absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, that was like a 3 or 4 car or 3 or 4 cars that were just hooked up bumper to bumper. And like you said, they barely got there. They're starting to get there now, but maybe not as quickly as they would like to. But still doing a good job. I'll be interested to see how the run's going to form off of this corner. Also a shout out to the 14 of Jeff Dixon. Also coming up here on the inside, and Jerem Lewis, who I think was or no, I don't think he was involved in one of those earlier wrecks. Some cars getting a little squirrely further back there. But now we are side by side for the lead here. Taken officially. 20 laps to go at the stripe.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on in the back portion of the pack. Daniel Rodriguez, Liam Tingley, and a couple of others were actually down on the apron. Actually, I might know now. I think the 20 of Daniel Rodriguez might be having some connection problems, so everybody was diving to the apron to avoid him, as he's now going to drop back and looks like he's going to lose this lead pack.
Yeah, and it looks like also the 83 may have also lost the pack. Those two might be able to catch up to each other, but that's going to be a tough break there. They might also need a caution. That's my internet warping out. I apologize for that. That happens every now and then. But look at just how tightly they're all packed on the outside.
Apparently that... Yeah, Feld in the 83, I think, was in the where he needed to be with someone behind him for the draft to still him up to pace. But now that he has nobody behind him, he is actually losing ground, and that front end damage is coming into play. The other thing we got to remember here too, Andrew, is this is the longest green flag run we've had so far. These drivers are that far away from having to figure out when they're going to come to pit road, and it's not all that easy to be able to figure that out when you're racing side by side, 2 rows deep, about maybe 12 rows back.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure it out here shortly. I don't remember exactly what lap it was that they pitted last under that last caution, but it's got to be at least maybe another 5-6 laps. Until they have to. Dejan Weeks just got to the inside.
We got pit stops coming up this time. Cole Baker waving the hand out the window in the 11. We'll see if any others come to pit road with him this time by.
Baker's a little further back there, about midfield. He's diving down to the inside. Does he have any takers with him? He has one. That's only Blake Warren. So only 2 guys blinking first. So that also tells you that it's imminent.
I don't think Baker made pit road speed here. I'm going to double check, but I think he was about 65 miles per hour at the commitment line. Now, I'm not certain if this is one of those Talladegas where it will average out your pit road speed. If Baker backs it down to about 40 miles per hour at a certain portion of pit road, it might not give him a black flag, but he was definitely hot coming down pit road. He may catch a break here. He may be on pit road when a caution comes out, the way they're racing up here in the top 6.
Daniel Day nearly out of shape there. A bit of a bad bump to Pedro Lucas. Looks like we're probably going to be staying out again, though.
Carter Friesen's coming in this time in the 85 machine. Watch for the Cessna car to dive onto pit road this time. Also coming down, well, I thought Nick Gunther was coming down, but he changed his mind.
Man, that was a second and a half, and Friesen spins it on the entry. My goodness.
Off the racing surface, so there will not be a caution for that. Jonathan Feld in as well.
And they're going to be catching Baker here. Ooh, boy, he's going to be merging at a bad time. Trying to get to the outside as quickly as he can. Going to do a good job of that.
Nicely done there. That's not very easy to do when you've got cars that are over maybe 70 to 80 miles per hour faster than you.
Golly, that outside lane is making me so nervous with those bumps. But they're doing a great job holding it together.
Here comes some more to pit road. Shane Sides, Daniel Day, Michael Norman, Nick Gunther all indicating they're coming. Here comes
Malin coming.
Tyler Malin. Oh, this is not good.
Oh, that's sliding it all. Oh, my goodness.
Daniel Day hitting the inside wall. Almost got collected up by, I think that was Will Goss in the 27.
But they all kept it going somehow, some way. That was amazing to behold.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, I don't think there's going to be very many that actually hit pit road at pit road speed. I'm seeing right now guys like Daniel Day and Dejan Weeks. They look like they came in way too fast.
Oh, boy.
Shane Sides very well may have come down too fast. Of course, he had made the contact with Daniel Day.
Looking at
Nova was in the grass. I don't know if that's going to be a 30-second penalty for him or not.
We're looking at the final group coming down pit road here. Rogers, Anderson, Lewis, Amriedo. They come down a lot cleaner. A few lockups, but nothing too major there. And it looks like they probably all got down to speed okay. But we're going to find out if anyone did indeed get snagged by that radar gun. And I've
just been checking back at that first, that big group that came down, just seeing if there's any other storylines that might play out to the end of this race. We did have another spin.
Oh, we got an engine blown. We have an engine blown in the back straightaway, and it is the 23. Alley Rain down on the insides. Engine up in smoke.
And just to update a couple of drivers that also had some pit road incidents coming out of the lane. Nick Gunther, he hit the pit wall just before the commitment line, bounced back out in front of Cody Lama. So the both of them had very slow pit stops, obviously, and are going to lose a lot of track position as a result. So with the fact that this thing remained green and we had those green flag pit stops, pit road is certainly playing its part into factoring in who could win the season opener, as we were 4 wide splitting some slow cars there through 1 and 2. Dejan Weeks and Will Goss just split. I think that was Jeff Dixon and Pedro Lucas. Somehow they all made it work, but my goodness, that's a bit of a heart-stopping moment.
Golly, yeah, you got guys merging all over the place. I'm just trying to keep track of who's where, who's drafting with who. Right now, it looks like the biggest beneficiaries were Jerm Lewis, Zach Rogers, and Jovan Anderson. They have pulled way away from everyone else, especially Lewis, who looks like may have had the cleanest entry there. Then you got Amiedo kind of by himself. And then a smaller pack of cars here. Tristan Allen, there's Weeks, Goss, LaPrade, and Malin. They'll probably catch the 36. And then with them being as many cars as they are, and especially the fact that the 6 is not willing to help the 22, oh, they're going to catch them in a real hurry here.
They definitely are. I think that right now you're going to have about maybe an 8-car pack here, maybe 9 cars at the front of the field to potentially battle it out for this win. Obviously, a caution could change things up. Zach Rogers, Jovan Anderson, obviously these two in different manufacturers. Rogers in a Mustang and Anderson in a Camry, but the two of them very good friends, race over in the Bomb Squad Racing League, and certain have tandemed a time or two, working with each other here in this one as well, as like possibly Scott Roush might be up to speed enough to keep with these guys. Remember, he had that gear problem. I'm going to double check just to see if he still has all of his gears or not. I think he might.
Well, if he's at this speed, I got to imagine that they fixed 4th gear at this point. But now it's just going to be a matter of, with those 3 cars up there, how much of a speed difference we're going to have with this line led by Tristan Allen, who, by the way, another driver that we have not said his name whatsoever, the number 80 Twix machine of Allen, suddenly in 4th, leading this line, and we're going to see if he's going to try to final in line and try to run out these final 12 laps, or if he's going to try to go for the lead himself. That's going to be pretty interesting to see. Looks like this line's going to go back to Amiedo if he's able to hold on to the draft, which it looks like he will. And Allen is going to the outside, so it looks like we're probably going to have a 9-car race for the win, should it stay green.
Well, remember I mentioned that Dunlopad had the championship in that Super Speedway Series during the offseason. Tristan Allen spent the good first half of that season as the points leader, so another driver that's very good when it comes to Super Speedway racing. And the question that I still haven't had answered that I asked him during practice is I want to know if he's sponsored by Left Twix or Right Twix, because that is something that I just absolutely need to know right now, and I have not received a definitive answer yet. So if he wins this race, he's going to fess up. He's going to answer, and we're going to know.
We'll be sure to ask him in the winner's interview, should he bring it home. But Dejan Weeks, though, finished this race 2nd last season, pushing the 18. And just a fun little fact there.
Got a caution. Caution is out.
Caution out. Trouble here. I'm trying to see what happened.
Norman, front straightaway, right in the tri-oval.
Oh, man, yeah, he's slow there. Bad bump, possibly. Oh, yeah.
Took a pretty good shot into the inside safer barrier, just a pit road entry. And, yeah, looks like it might have been David Alvarez in that Hyper X Chevrolet that might have tagged him.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. Looked like Norman maybe got a little close to the rear bumper of Robbie Gilvin. Tried to back off a little bit. Alvarez just wasn't ready for it and sent him around. Well, this is IMRC. Did you expect anything different than a shootout?
No, absolutely not. One thing that we definitely know now, and I don't think it was really in doubt, the fact that all these drivers now are going to be good on fuel. I think they would have been able to make it to the checkers regardless of if we had stayed under the green flag, though, because I think they went about 15 to 17 laps there on what they had in the tank on that long green flag run. That would have left them with about 13 to go when they came off pit road. But yeah, now we bunch them all back up. All those drivers that were back in those little packs, they're back up in this big group. And you know, we have 50 scheduled laps, but we do have 57 laps available for these drivers to run in case we need those overtime green-white checkers. I got a feeling we might need at least one, maybe a couple of them.
I could see that for sure, knowing how Daytona went last season. But this is going to be something to behold. Looks like Scott Roush is going to be the free pass. Although now it just clicked over. Show the 16 ahead, but just knowing where the 81 was running, I'm pretty sure that he will be the lucky dog. I'm not sure how this will affect Blake Warren as far as him getting laps back or not. But Tristan Allen, a driver who in this race has not been up front hardly at all, but as you said, knows how to run these super speedway races, as a great pusher in Dejan Weeks, who the point I was going to make before that caution came out was Dejan pushed Tyler Malin for the win in this race last season, and then we all know what happened at Homestead. So, a little bit of a mixed bag there from Weeks, but then you got William Goss in third, but the driver who has really made the most noise at the front, Zach Rogers in fourth, followed by LaPrade and Anderson, and then Malin. So that is a group of 4 guys who, with where they are on track, I think they are going to be gunning for it every bit that they can. But also our good friend Natana Miedo, just knowing how he drives and knowing how aggressive he wants it. Oh yeah, that K&M machine is going to be making some moves.
There's a lot of guys that I'm looking here in the back half of the field that we really still haven't seen them drive up to the front. Remember back in the regular season finale when Robbie Gilbin was able to pull off the shot clock cheese, if you will, to get into the playoffs. He ended up winning at a super speedway. We've not really seen him get any higher than 6th. You got Cody Lamas back here, who's been pretty much riding at the back majority of this race. Yes, he had that little bit of an incident with Nick Gunther during the round of green flag pit stops, but we haven't really seen him show his face up at the front. And Shane Sides had that contact with Daniel Day when they came to pit road for the green flag pit stops, faded towards the back. He was up at the front early on in this one. We'll see if he can charge back up there again as well.
Yeah, he's going to have some work to do. We saw him on the front row at one point earlier in the run, and now toward the rear of the field. So we'll see what the 24 is able to do. Of course, we know that Gilvin can get it done. Cole Baker, another experienced driver who's further back there. So Cody Lamas, of course, was involved in one of those incidents. Also got Chris Wetz back here as well, who was involved in the first 2 cautions. But still keeping it clean and is now shown in 10th. So a number of stories that could develop here. But it's Talladega. And it's going to be probably 6, maybe 7 laps to go at the stripe here. So a long sprint, but a sprint no less. So where is that sense of urgency going to be? When do you want to make your move? And how aggressive can you afford to be this early in the season? Because there's also that aspect of it.
Oh, it's go time now. I honestly think that if you're going to make moves, you've got to make them at this point in time, because as I said, it takes so long to generate a run on that outside line. You can't wait until 2 to go or the white flag lap. You've got to do it now to try and get yourself to the front and then try controlling those 2 lines in the closing stages. They are going to be doubling up this time to go green, and so we're going to have a total of 7 laps to go. Actually, correction, 8 laps to go when they take the green flag here.
Oh, we're going green this time?
You're going green this time. I don't think we're done with cautions here at any stretch of the imagination. I think you're going to see these guys pushing and shoving quite a bit, because I think that all bets are off, all alliances are out the window. Now it's go for broke, set yourself up here for the white flag to try and hold them off of the win.
Oh, you are not kidding. Blake Warren has not gotten, well, he hasn't gotten any of his laps back yet, and knowing that the game thinks that it's still green, I'm actually kind of surprised at that. But for right now, though, Allen and Weeks on the front row, then it's Goss and Rogers. We're back at it for 8 laps. Will they make it back? Like you said, I doubt it, but hey, we'll see what happens. It's going to be a thriller, no less.
Dejan got himself a good start there. He is going to lose some ground through 1 and 2, but I thought he was going to stay alongside of Tristan Allen for a brief moment. We'll see if this push from Zach Rogers is going to help him down the back straightaway. Rogers was glued to the back bumper of that Smithfield Ford.
Oh, he's got some great pushers behind him. I would be surprised if he's not going to be making that charge on that outside within even a lap or so. But right now, like you said, they still just have to get up to speed, try to get that run. That inside still running well, but look at him, even in the corner, he is glued to the tail of the 10. And at what point is the 80 or even the 27 for that matter going to see that and go, okay, that's going to be my time to go up there Right now, they still got a couple cars. 25 might even be able to clear them on the outside. As we are now 7 laps to go.
I'm watching that bright green number 18 of Tyler Malin, fourth in line on the inside. Remember, we saw him jump to the middle with Dejan Weeks as his pusher. He's going to jump up there. I thought so. I thought as soon as he got clear on Dejan Weeks, he might be the one to try and jump there, up there, lead that top group. And we'll see now with a fast car that started on the pole if he can drag that top line to the front.
That's quite the image, seeing the 18 ahead of the 10, for obvious reasons. But yeah, coming off that corner, I'm not surprised at all that Malin made that move, and now I think it's going to start to pay dividends as we go along. Amiedo stuck on the inside, but pushing the 25. It is 6 to go this time. At the stripe, Allen still holds the lead though with a push from Goss.
There are so many drivers up here in this top 10, top 12 that are all in the same team room right now. You've got to wonder how difficult it is for communications to go on privately so that way everybody else doesn't know what moves you're going to make. Right now, top 4 are going to get clear of the high line. Natan Amiedo, the last of those. Jeff Dixon trying to clear in the 5th position, and here come some of those drivers I was talking about that hadn't quite made their way to the front just yet. Cody Lamas in that new Lowe's paint scheme. He's the 6th car on that inside line there, starting to make a charge up to the front.
Ooh, Amiedo gets clear of the outside, but is now going to try to take it for himself. Looks like they might shuffle Zach Rogers out of line, but Anderson lets him back.
I think Rogers actually jumped up there because everybody checked up ahead of him when Amiedo jumped to the top side. As you mentioned, Anderson lets him back in. Now they've got to formulate that outside line once again. That killed a lot of momentum for the top group.
Keep an eye on Jeff Dixon, though. He knows how to get it done here. He's done really well in some other leagues, especially in this type of racing. So that 14 could be a wild card as well. But Tristan Allen still leading the way. We're at 5 laps to go, coming to 4. Dunlaprad in 3rd. And that outside line, despite how hard they're pushing, not really doing much, and there they go!
Cody Lamas, Tyler Malin up and over.
He's on top of Rogers.
Oh my goodness, that's the biggest wreck we've had so far here tonight.
Shane Sides up on his side, ironically. Alexander Gonzalez going for a spin. There's Lamas. Jovan Anderson around as well.
Up and over there.
Someone's smoking, and it's Malin. Malin is done.
Wow.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know exactly how this started, but the first 2 cars I saw out of shape were the 36 and the 18. I don't know if it was 3 wide or a bad bump. I will point out as well that we had 3 or 4 cars in the field that were side-to-side warping, so I'm not necessarily certain if warp might have played a factor into this incident or not.
Yep, as Nathan just called it out in chat, the big one has occurred. I'm just checking up at the front to see how the order shakes up. It's going to be Allen at the moment, then Goss, Laprade, Dixon, and Henry Nova will now be 5th, assuming, of course, that nobody pits. But for right now, we're going to review that wreck here. I mean, they were pushing for their life, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was just a bad bump coming off the corner here, and yep, that's exactly what it looks like it was.
Yep, absolutely. I think 36 might have just lost a tiny bit of momentum there on that top side. That brought the 18 directly to his back bumper, and the bump taking place on the exit of the corner.
Actually, there weren't as many cars properly involved in that as I thought there were. A number of them were just slowing down to try to miss it. We're going to look at Lamas here. Yep, just the bad bump. You saw Dejan Weeks spin around as well. And yep, there's 48 going up and over. A little bit of a spin from Blake Warren as well.
Yeah, Blake got into Felipe Teixeira. Shane Sides, he clipped somebody and then backed it into the outside wall, and somehow the wall kind of grabbed his machine and flipped it over.
Yeah, I saw that there. That was strange. He climbed it. That was strange. Alexander Gonzalez also going for a spin. A number of guys that may have spun, but probably won't be in that bad a shape. We're gonna go on board. We're actually gonna do an on board, the first on board of the race. I meant to do more of these, but this is Alexander Gonzalez on board in the 63. You see him spinning, cars flying, and everyone just trying to go around. And just a slight clip there from the 24. That's what sent him around. But just a spin, nothing really too serious there. But man, that is hard for the 18 of Tyler Malin. Yeah, that's going to be their race over. They might be able to fix it.
About 2 or 3 drivers spinning through the infield grass, but I don't think they really hit anything. Dejan Weeks and Pedro Lucas were amongst those. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think Shane's sides might be okay, because I don't think really any of the impact was to the front end around the engine housing. It was mostly to the right rear quarter panel when he got the wall, and then he flipped up onto his right side, and it wasn't much of a barrel roll to get back on his wheel, so I think that car might still be up to speed.
I think the only stinger there, like you said, yeah, might just be the track position. Tyler Malin did come down pit road and got the car at least to, well, start moving. Not very fast, but might at least be able to collect some points should another incident like that happen.
He's thinking points. He thinks this might not be the last caution. We're going to see. We are actually going to finish this in regulation, maybe, as it's going to be an in regulation green-white checkered here.
In regulation, it is 2 laps to go, and it's Allen and Goss on the front row. And then LaPrade and Dixon. And how about this? Henry Nova and Liam Tingley is restarting in 6th. But then there's Rogers behind the 03. And Baker's there as well. Let's see what they're going to be able to do on this 2-lap run.
Seen a lot of movement, a lot of side-by-side with some connection problems there. Liam Tingley, the 63, Cole Baker in the 11, Dunn LaPrade in the 25, so don't count out the possibility of Warp bringing out another caution here. Ooh. As Will Goss with a big push on the outside, courtesy of Dixon, might be clear for the lead here by the time they get to turn 4.
Yeah, LaPrade did not get really close to the 80 there, and now they are coming around to take the white flag. Ooh. That looked like Baker trying to go even farther down to the inside. The inside, though, is where you want to be. But Goss with the run on the outside. Dixon behind him. White flag is in the air.
Racing back to the checkers no matter what now. Is Goss going to clear for the spot? Does he stay up with Dixon? Yes, he does. If Dixon gets clear on the 80, does he make a move on Goss? Down back straight. We're wrecking over in 1 and 2, but we're still racing back to the checkered flag.
Couple spinners there, but right now the outside is charging and charging hard. Dixon, how long is he going to stay on the bumper? The 27, we might go 3 wide.
It's going to be close here to see who's going to be able to get the edge into 3 and 4. Goss left the door open. Dixon stuck his foot in. Goss has no drafting help, about a car length back to either Tingley or Rogers. Dixon's going to have the advantage off of 4. Now can he hold them off in his rearview mirror?
3 wide off of 4. Dixon looking good. Coming off the corner.
Coming to the start-finish line. Nobody can make a charge. They're spinning. They're wrecking. How about Jeff Dixon winning the season opener?
How about that? Jeff Dixon did not have the best of luck in the starts that he made last season, and just like that, comes back here for the new season and wins it. The Chase Briscoe colors getting it done, and I'm not surprised there. They did their best. They were spinning, wrecking, coming to the line, but hey, we finished in regulation, and Jeff Dixon is singing hallelujah. I will take that. Thank you very much.
Started 20th position here today. Spent a good portion of the first half running just outside of the top 10. We started to see him creeping his way forward just after the green flag pit stop cycle. And then that caution bunching everybody back up, and he kept it up there in the top 5 pretty much the entirety of the final run. And what a move he made there on Will Goss as well. Will tried to block him, tried to pinch him down, but Dixon was there and he was not going to lift.
I wasn't sure if Tristan Allen was maybe going to be able to get to the inside of the 14, but wasn't quite able to get there. And like you said, that outside just fizzled out. That allowed Dixon to get away. Allen did everything that he could, but just not quite enough momentum, not quite enough time. Still going to come out in an excellent second. But Jeff Dixon with the victory, a bit of an unexpected victory, but no less. Great wheel man. and gets it done here tonight. We are going to look at the full results as he goes spinning across the line. So this is going to be the best way to do it here.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily certain I would call it an unexpected win, but there's no doubt about it. Even back in the Ram Ranch duels on Saturday, he kind of played his cards close to the chest. Didn't really show the strength that 14 car had of being able to cut his way through traffic. Didn't finish all that well in those 2 Ram Ranch duels, but man, he definitely showed what that 14 car had here tonight.
Yeah, he showed it pretty well. Blake Warren just jumped up here. Welcome, my man. We were just about to go through the finishing results before we started talking to people. But wasn't an internet issue? Did you lose internet there? I'm genuinely curious.
Even worse, my computer crashed. Completely crashed, and I could not get it back booted for about half an hour. So here we are.
Ooh. Well, hey, good on you for at least sticking it through to the end there. Good to have you up here, and looking forward to having you up here for a few races this season. For now,
silver lining, Blake, you turned more laps than I did.
Fair enough. Poor Seth blew up.
Your engine made it to the end, at least.
So, looking through the results here, Jeff Dixon with the win. Tristan Allen held it up there, going to finish runner-up, a great second place there. Dunlaprat in third, and Will Goss will be fourth. Liam Tingley coming through in 5th place. And then here's where things start to get a little crazy. Noah Degenhart. Wait, I already lost count. Third, 4th, 5th, 6th. Okay, Noah Degenhart will be 6th. Dylan Connolly in 7th. Michael Norman 8th. And Nick Gunther in 9th, with Daniel Day rounding out the top. Oh, wait, no. I missed Chris Wetz there. Excuse me. Wetz is actually.
You can miss a bright neon yellow car, but okay.
the camera angle is why. So Chris Wetz will actually finish. I lost count again. This is too hard.
He's 9th. He's 9th.
9th. Okay, and then Gunther 10th, with Daniel Day 11th, and then Alvarez. And then beyond that, who the heck knows?
Here, I'll give you the rundown if you want, because I got it right here. You got Daniel Day 11th, you got Alvarez 12th, Robbie Gilvin 13th, 14th place for Rodriguez. That's the 20 car, that is, of Daniel Rodriguez. Zach Rogers in 15th. And then you had Andrew Gonzalez in 16th, Cole Baker 17th, who, by the way, had a wicked barrel roll across the start-finish line there coming to the checkers. Jerm Lewis 18th, Henry Nova 19th, Deshaun Weeks in 20th, Chris Emery in 21st, Pedro Lucas 22nd, Natana Miedo in 23rd, Jonathan Feld 24th, 25th was Scott Roush. The incident over in 3 and 4 involved Cody Lamas, who finished in 26th. Tyler Malin passed a couple of the drivers that were involved to finish 27th. Felipe Teixeira, Jovan Anderson, and Shane Sides 28th through 30th. They were also caught up in that incident over in 3 and 4. Or actually, I think it was actually over in 1 and 2 on the final lap. My apologies. Carter Friesen, we actually didn't document. He had an engine failure on his 85 before the conclusion of this race. He was 31st, Blake Warren in 32nd, Allie Rain 33rd, and yours truly bringing it home in 34th. But, it's kind of like golf. I guess the lowest score wins.
Ain't that the truth? Just looking also at that wreck in 1 and 2, that was actually a pretty nasty wreck. Felipe Teixeira really tumbling, like I said. But, also got to be a heartbreaker for Jovan Anderson and Zach Rogers. They both had really great cars there. Of course, Tyler Malin as well. Looking at this final view of the finish with Jeff Dixon bringing home the victory. Jeff Dixon has already left Team Speak, so it looks like we're not going to be interviewing him. But anyone else who is open to one is welcome. As there everybody goes.
Looks like we got a few there.
Yep, we got, I think we'll go down the finishing order here. I'm also just going to check the chat here. Yep, Nick, if you want it, feel free. Anyone is welcome. Anyone is welcome to be interviewed. All you have to do is just join the waiting room in TeamSpeak. For now, though, we will start with the runner-up.
User was moved to your
Tristan Allen, as we just said, runner-up. Led a lot of laps there toward the end. Played the cards just right by the looks of it. And bringing it home second. How you feeling about that?
Happy that I got second, but disappointed I couldn't get the first Cup win in this season. So, but it's a plate track. I can't really control everything.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, you were you were needing to defend from the 14, the 27, and pretty much everyone around you. It looked like you were even going to go 3 wide there for a moment. Was there anything else that you could have really done there, or was it just kind of the runs fell how they were? My gosh, I have not asked questions for an interview in a long time. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I don't think I could have done anything different. I was trying, like, there was no real gap to get up on the high side, or if there was, I would have been third in line, which would have most likely taken me out of contention either way. So I just kind of had to roll with the bottom first on the bottom and hope that the outside lane had a checkup or something happened and the inside lane would have prevailed.
And oops, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask him because, obviously in IMRC fashion, we know there's always the late race drama when it comes to super speedway racing. And I saw you say, of course, when I'm leading this race under green flag conditions, of course that caution is going to come out. We're going to have these late race restarts. But, I mean, would you have been one of those guys that would like to see this thing go green all the way to the end after those pit stops cycled out?
I would have, because Dejan, who pushed Tyler to a win, he said he was fully committed to pushing me the rest of the race when we were all around just in our own single file line. And still, it just so happens, it almost was a repeat of the Super Speedway series. I won at Talladega in similar fashion with the green-white checkered, so I thought maybe when the caution flew, maybe it was good luck actually that I would have gotten a win with it, but it wasn't actually good luck. I think I just got luckier on the first race when I got the win in the trucks.
Okay, so I told Andrew that if we do a post-race, I had to ask you this question. I asked you this during practice, and I guess it kind of got lost in translation because I didn't see an answer. Are you sponsored by Left Twix or Right Twix?
It is definitely Right Twix.
Okay.
Boo!
I'm planning on doing something with that sort of scheme sometime later in the season.
Oh, yeah, that was going to be my final question for you. I know that lights was the main focus for you last season. Is Cup going to be the main focus this time around?
I'm actually one of few people who can run every race in both series, so I think I'm just going to run both races, and pretty much however the cards fall in the last week is whichever one I'm going to go for, I guess.
Okay, sweet. Well, best of luck to you.
Yeah, thanks.
If you were going to say something there, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that with both being able to run both races, I pretty much can run both races, and then coming to Daytona, I'll have 2 point scenarios, and I can make my mind up what I want to do there.
And there you go. What's not to love about that? Well, best of luck to you, though, and hey, looking forward to seeing what happens as it unfolds.
Thanks.
Thank you for your time, Tristan Allen, runner-up tonight to Jeff Dixon, who again left. Freaking fool. But congrats to him no less. Let's see, who we got next? We're going to do Don LaPrade.
User left your channel.
Do not take that out of context what I just said. I know someone will. There's Don LaPrade. 3rd place finish tonight. Kept it up front for the most part. Pretty uneventful for the most part. And brings it home 3rd. How you feeling about that?
I mean, on one side of me, I'm happy that I got 3rd, but on the other side, I feel dumb for letting off like that. I was anticipating for my teammate Will to get in front of me on that restart because he and I are teammates. So I figured if he's up there, then I figured he could just get in front of me. And I did not think that he was going to stay up high, and then that just opened up a huge gap between me and Tristan. That's what got Will up front, and I feel bad for Tristan, man, because I don't know what I was doing there. I should have stayed on the back bumper of Tristan to try to help him out and win. I know he's been long overdue for a Cup win on a super speedway, and tonight was the night, and I just royally messed up there. But just one of those deals. I mean, you're coming down the wire. I guess it's every man for themselves now. Teammates are kind of nowhere to be found. You just gotta go for it. So it is what it is. Like I said, I'm happy to get 3rd, but just part of me is just not happy with myself with that restart deal. But you always learn.
Yep, that's a fair point though. But with it being this early in the season and a good haul of points there at the beginning, what's going to be the expectation going forward from there as far as maybe making the playoffs or anything else?
I'm not worried about the playoffs right now. I'm really more focused on is trying to keep it up front as much as possible. Accumulate as many points as I can because we got 10 races in the regular season, then we got the 6 races of the playoffs. So we got a long ways to go. I mean, we got Jeff, Tristan, Shane, Will, Natan, Zach, Jovid. I mean, we got the whole group of very talented drivers that's going to be gunning for those 10 playoff spots. So I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen next, but all I know is that I can control my own destiny and worry about myself and do whatever I can to have the season kind of like I had last year, but try to win more races this time and try to race up front a little bit more, try to lead as much as I can. And that's really about it. And also, congrats to Jeff Dixon on the win. I mean, he's been good on these tracks. I'm telling you, he's certainly one of those guys that I have watched in the other racing leagues, and he's proven to be a driver that's very capable of being a top contender. So I'm not surprised to see him get the win. So kudos to him. He deserves it.
And credit to you as well, man. Seth, anything from you?
Yeah, just real quick. I mean, obviously, Dunn, we know that you are coming off a championship during the off-season here for IMRC, winning that Super Speedway Series championship. Now, I know that obviously different physics. We ran the trucks with the CTS physics. This is Cup. But, I mean, coming into the season opener being a Super Speedway with that championship under your belt, did that give you, like, some positive mojo, some momentum here into this one, or were you not even thinking about that?
I think it did give me a lot of confidence, a lot of momentum because, I mean, as you said, I've won the Super Speedway Series championship, so I definitely have learned a lot from that series. I will admit that. I've learned so much from that, and a lot of that is what helped me to stay right up in the front with those guys, and to be able to have that experience from one series to another to benefit you like this, it certainly goes a long way. And I'm happy to be able to stay competitive and be able to race up front with these guys. And I'm glad that there was a Super Speedway Series because, man, that definitely, as I said, really benefited me more than anything that I can think of right now.
It definitely showed. You ran well tonight, and great result. And I'm sure that there'll be plenty more of those results as the season goes on. We'll be rooting for you, though, man. Good job.
Thank you. All I gotta do is just try to gain 4 more spots and points, and we'll be right up there.
I like it. Right on. Don the Pran, 3rd place finisher. We got a few more guys down here. We'll jump on Nick Gunther, who's sitting down here.
User was moved to your channel.
And there is Nick, finished 10th, question mark?
Yep, you're correct, P10.
P10. A bit of a crazy finish there. Wasn't really up front as much, but hey, brought it home when it counted. That's always good to see. Your thoughts on the race and what we can expect from you for the rest of the season?
Why? Well, I feel like we could have done a little bit better out there today with, just traffic being in the way. I mean, it's just like every super speedway. You try to weave in and out, and you saw me come back from like 30th to like maybe like 12, like I don't even know. I think it was like 12th or 13th at one point. But then I just got roadblocked by slow cars, I'm afraid, with damage. But I've been there before. I'm usually the type of driver in super speedways where I get damaged, but I just try to stay up there because why the hell not? I mean, it's plate racing. It's kind of dumb. As far as for the rest of the season, I know there's going to be a few of those restricted plate races. God help me. I really don't know what to expect. I mean, I was expecting pretty standard plate race finishes where like it's going to be like one group like driving throughout the entirety of the bottom lane, but surprisingly that wasn't happening tonight. I was quite surprised, which is good because I really don't like being in the middle of a freight train. I actually want to race.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I want to actually use like some talent for plate racing if we can find any.
Well, you definitely showed a fair amount of it. Again, I'll just ask with. I know that he missed last season because of some school responsibilities, which
Yeah,
hey,
the last
that's
two
always
seasons
important.
have not been kind to me because I had to do classwork. That's Penn State decided, oh, I have an idea. Let's have a pretty pointless class at 6 o'clock at night on a Monday when you were trying to go race for a championship in another series. Like
Penn
okay
State?
then. 3-hour classes for what? I don't know.
I'd have given you a note from home.
What's up?
I would have given you a note from home, said that you couldn't make the classes.
Yeah, but the problem was those were online classes, because of COVID last year and all that.
Alright, so an email from home.
Right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that could possibly work.
Also, Penn State. What?
Yeah, Penn State Abington. Gotta love them.
So you're from Pennsylvania?
Yeah, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, baby.
Oh my God, that's weird. You're only an hour away from me.
Tough. That's why we're. It's either if there's like any Philly fans that are watching this, just listen. You're gonna be either very passionate or yeah, it's gonna be really passionate fans. You're either gonna be really happy or you're just gonna throw snowballs at Santa Claus.
Nice.
There's just no in between. It's like Ferrari fans and Brazilian soccer fans. We're like that.
First off, that's just weird because that means that you're about an hour away from me. What? But also, but hey, now that you're going to be able to run on Monday nights, is the full season on tap for you? Maybe going for the championship?
Oh, yeah, full time. That's what I hope to do anyway. I mean, I know I saw on the schedule for next to my name, it says only 4 races for Cup. Well, that's not the case. That shouldn't be the case because I almost won the Lights title, for crying out loud. It's just the only reason why I lost the Lights title was I wasn't able to actually participate at Homestead, sadly enough. I could have given Cody a run for his money there.
Oh, for sure. But hey, I'm sure that with whatever you are able to do, it's going to be cool.
Cup Series, though, it's going to be much, much more difficult because we got like a lot of good talent here, like lots of good people, lots of good drivers out there. It's going to be very competitive, I believe, and I'm looking forward to Monday nights, definitely, for sure.
And we're looking forward to seeing you out there, man. Best of luck to you as far as those races go.
Thanks for having me here.
And hey, even if you can't, I know that you mentioned joining the booth, so I'd be down for that too.
I mean, I wanted to join the booth last season, but yeah, I mean, I could, like, if I wreck out, maybe I'll join the booth. Maybe I can make my commentary debut. I'd be like Clint Boyer.
If you have the charisma of Clint Boyer, I'm in.
I mean, I'm kind of like Clint Boyer. I can give a good voice interpretation of him. Even though my attitude is most oftenly compared to Kyle Busch, but
at least you're honest about it.
Hey, a lot of people say it, so it's probably true.
Well, good having you up here, man. Best of luck, and good job tonight as well.
Yep. See you next week.
See you there. Got a couple more guys that we're going to try and get here. I think I'll just...
Yeah, this just in. According to Andrew Miller, Penn State is the right Twix of the college world.
I don't know that. All I know is... all I heard is Penn State. Pennsylvania. What? I freak out every time I hear that someone that I remotely know is in the same state as me. That's usually how it goes. We'll get our last couple of guys here. Jonathan Feld wanted it, and we'll get this guy as well. These are the last two. We'll start with Mr. Jonathan Feld.
Yes.
I know that tonight maybe didn't entirely go your way, but I know that I think this was the only start that you made last season, so I'll ask you a positive question. Might we be seeing a little more of you this season?
You know, we'll have to see. First of all, I have to say I was very surprised that you wanted to interview the 23rd place finisher, but I'm humbled and honored.
If you're in the race and you want to be interviewed, hop in.
I'm down for that. We'll have to see. You know, Allie Rain was she requested me to come over and race and did a car, and we've been talking and whatnot, and want to come over and race with her because she was all excited about the car she painted for me and running as Rain Racing. So doing that tonight. Ran pretty well before we had that wreck. I got on the inside line and I don't know, that apron just scooped me up and put me into the wall and just didn't really have the speed after that. But, we'll have to see. A lot is happening just in life right now, and it's just good to come back and race for one night. Have some fun.
I'm just glad to hear that you definitely had a good time there. Yeah, like you said, sorry about the damage there, but glad it. There goes the English. It was bound to happen at some point. Now go ahead and jump to Natan, the number one advocate for these broadcasts, which I'm always grateful for. Again, another kind of didn't go your way there. Involved in, it looked like that last wreck in turns 1 and 2. But otherwise, how was it? And what are you thinking for the rest of the season going forward?
Well, first of all, I think that this was the perfect race for IMRC. Like, we had plenty of moves, no single file racing, like boring laps out there just driving. We didn't have that tonight, and that's, I think, a great sign for the season. It was a very fun race. My team was very strong. This season we're with Zach Rogers and Jovin. Unfortunately, Jovin was driving a Toyota, tonight, but that's not gonna last too long. But it was great for us three. We stayed up in front for like 20 or 30 laps. Unfortunately, things didn't come out our way on the end of the race, and there goes my English too. But it was fun, and I think that this season might be a great one. We had like 33 cars on the field tonight, so that's fantastic. I hope we can keep that going for the next weeks. And well, I could feel the smell of a wreck coming my way since before the race, and I was like, okay, sometime I'll be on the broadcast booth. Fortunately enough, I was able to finish the race, even if I was like whatever position. Maybe I shouldn't even know it. But it was a great race, man. Great fun, and I hope that we are about to have a great season.
Last season was a lot of fun to do, and I'm looking forward to more of the same this season. I'm guessing that you'll probably be running pretty much full time going for the championship.
I'm not supposed to. I wasn't even supposed to be racing tonight, but something came up and I was able to be here. So I was here, but I don't know if for the next weeks I'll be there. So I don't know. It's tough to say. But whatever races I can be in, I just hope that we can have some fun and just a great season overall.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hope to see you on track, maybe even be up here a little bit. Again, I appreciate all your advocation for this, saying that I should be doing these streams past season 20 and beyond. I remember that one.
Make it season 200. I don't think we'll make it through that, but yeah,
Bringing in the new generation of IMRC NR drivers.
Yes.
At that point,
I think probably Shane's son would probably be running IMRC by then, right?
That sounds more like his grandson.
Grandson.
You must take over the family business.
Welcome to IMR3.
IMR3, yes.
I just want to say one thing about Shane, though. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Shane was literally on his sides on that last wreck, so that's something worth.
I mentioned the irony of that.
Yeah, you gotta.
That was good. Well, Seth, I know that you kind of joined the booth here unexpectedly, but before we wrap it up,
booth babe.
Excuse?
But so I was in the same racing room as Seth, and he said, "I'm gonna try getting up into the booth. I'll be a booth babe for the race now that I'm out."
I don't know how to feel about this now. So, any closing thoughts from you there, Booth Babe? God, I just said that.
So first off, if I do run any more of the super speedway races this season, FRN cars getting binned. We're running something different. FRN cars apparently is alive and well.
Detroit.
Hey, don't tempt me. I might actually do that.
Do it,
I
you deviant.
I think the big thing that I've been hearing from a lot of drivers, and it really is true, there's about 15, maybe 20 drivers that took the green flag here tonight that are planning on running full time in the Cup Series that easily could make their way into the playoffs. And we've got 10 spots available for these guys. It is going to be a dogfight to find out who's going to get those playoff positions, because I'm predicting we're going to have a number of multi-time winners during the course of the season. So there's going to be a bunch of drivers who are going to have to rely on pointing their way in, and there's a lot of really interesting tracks as well. A lot of tracks that were on the light schedule last season that made their way to the Cup Series schedule. A lot of returning tracks from last year's Cup Series schedule. And as Nick alluded to, there's a couple more super speedways as well, which we always know are those type of wild card races. So I think this is going to be an ultra competitive season for sure. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see here as the season progresses who's going to get those playoff spots, because I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of big names and a lot of good drivers that are probably going to miss out on a chance of battling for that championship.
And I'll just shoot it to...
No,
Oops, go ahead.
We don't have Brazil this season, so I'm pissed off.
The Brazilian hero will not shine.
Probably repaving it this year and move back next year.
There you go.
Depending on what you mean by shine, because on the Brazilian race, I think I wrecked that car like 5 times. So,
Oh yeah, that's true.
Maybe we should just stay that way, not having a Brazilian race. I don't know.
Maybe we can rename Daytona Brazil.
There you go. No, rename it Amoedo Speedway.
Brazil Tona. I love it.
I on a legit note, though, I will ask Blake really quick. I was looking at the schedule. I did not see the Final Four thing over Homestead. Is the championship format the same as last season, or is it more so like kind of like 2004 Cup type thing?
It is more like the 2004 Cup schedule, the way that it goes all out. We do not have a Final Four this season. The way that'll work is that the drivers that get into the playoffs, there will be 10 drivers in each series competing for a championship. The person who wins the regular season playoff, the regular season championship, gets a bonus of 10 points. And each race win this season is 5 points bonus. So whoever has the best numbers at the end of the season is crowned your champion, provided they make it into the chase and they don't bungle it all up. I do have one thing that I want to say. I was surprisingly happy to add on to the record, as tonight was the largest IMRC Cup Series field that has ever happened, with 34 cars.
That
So
was
my
awesome.
inclusion breaks a record. Also, as the only other thing, as I looked at the point standings, I'm very, very sad and disappointed. I only got 1 point tonight. That's the lowest I've ever gotten. 30th and last gets 1 point.
Hold on, Blake. How many points did I get? Let's let everybody know that.
1. You got
That's
1.
right. So we're tied for last.
See, there you go.
Race for the bottom.
There you go.
Jonathan, Natan, you got more points than Seth and Blake. Feel good about that.
Let's go.
Go get it.
I also
So-
blocked Blake in the race. I'm very sorry about that, but I did what I had to do.
I was more afraid that I was going to wreck you, and I was just trying to push everyone. That's all my focus was tonight. Who can I push, and let's see what we can do. I didn't appreciate the blocking, but whatever.
My last.
all I can-
sorry.
All I was going to say was, for myself, I'm allowed to run 4 races. I don't know if tonight's going to count as one. Kind of maybe yes, kind of maybe no. But we've got 2 more super speedways, so Outward and Daytona, I'm hoping to be there. And then I'm debating either hopefully running Kentucky and or Auto Club, or potentially later in the season at Michigan or Homestead, provided I can do so. Hopefully going to have a good season for the 8 for what limited scheduled races we can in the Cup. And hopefully, really get on it and go for that Lights Championship this year. It's been far too long, and one racing needs another championship.
I like the sound of that. My final question, I was just going to say, though, just again, as far as the championship goes, it is not a win and you're in as far as getting to the postseason, right?
It is winning you're in. You get
Oh, okay.
you do get locked into the chase. It then just files down to pretty much those that are in the top 10. If we have a race winner every single week, different race winner every single week, in these 10 races, 10 drivers get in, and then 10 drivers fight for the final 6 races of the season.
Okay. Okay, so still winning you're in, and then from there, yeah, you get those tally up points, and then that converts into the rest of the season. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, so that makes sense. I like that. I like that format a lot. So on that note, though, I think we're going to wrap it up. But again, I have to thank everyone for watching. We will see you all next week. I'm already really excited. I think it's Las Vegas, but it's probably not, and I'm probably very wrong.
Auto Club.
Thank you all.
You could be excited for from now if you're excited for Vegas.
Well, hey, Auto Club put on a heck of a show last season. We'll see what's going to happen this time around. Until then, though, thank you to all the drivers. 34 cars. That is awesome to see. Hopefully that continues on for a good while here this season. But until then, though, on behalf of everyone else, thank you all again. And I know that Natan's about to do
Thank
it.
you.
Take care, and bye for now.
Of course you did.
Love y'all.